The screen flickered as Zaria Monroe leaned over her laptop, sweat glistening on her forehead, even though the air conditioner in her cramped studio apartment blew full blast. The dull hum of traffic buzzed outside the cracked window. Her fingers flew across the keyboard like a pianist mid-symphony. Every keystroke was a step closer to her future. On her screen was the framework of a digital platform. Something beautiful. Something revolutionary. She whispered the name aloud, tasting it. Muse. A space for creatives to thrive, photographers, designers, writers, and artists to showcase, collaborate, get paid, and get found. It was like Behance, Upwork, and Pinterest had a baby, only this one had ethics. And it was hers. A vibration on the table interrupted her flow. Marcus's name lit up her phone. Marcus, text outside. Got snacks. She buzzed him in and minimized her screen. Moments later, he strolled in, tall, bearded, a smile too smooth for someone who never paid his half of rent on time. Marcus, yo, smells like burnout in here. Zaria, I've been on this for 14 hours straight. Marcus, did you even eat? Zaria, productivity is my dinner. Laughs. Marcus, let me see what you're cooking up. She hesitated, but turned the screen anyway. Marcus, damn, this is tight. Zaria, grinning it still messy. Just wireframes. Marcus, messy? Z, this is startup level. Like VC money ready. Zaria, don't jinx it. It's just a dream right now. Marcus, so let's make it real. Together. That's how it started. Late night pizza. Idea boards. Spotify playlists. She did the UI, UX, branding. He helped with networking and investor research. He said they'd be co-founders, equal partners. And in her heart, she believed it. By the third week, their apartment was covered in Post-its and hope. Zaria created a brand Bible. Marcus scheduled Zoom meetings with serious VCs. She was skeptical at first, but he was magnetic in meetings and knew the right buzzwords: creator economy, scale, decentralized billing, disrupt. Marcus, investors eat that disrupt stuff up like candy. Zaria, so we're really doing this. Marcus, we're gonna blow the roof off the App Store. One evening, he slid a printed document across the counter while she worked on a logo draft. Marcus, just a quick thing for the meetings. NDA. Standard. Zaria, you want me to sign an NDA? Marcus, it protects both of us. The VCs need clean paperwork. It's boilerplate. We'll do founder splits later. Zaria, hesitating, okay, but I want everything in writing next week. Marcus, say less. 50/50ths. Babe. She signed. The next day, he asked to borrow her laptop to install developer tools. She handed it over. He took it with a kiss on her cheek and said he'd be back by evening. He wasn't. Morning. Zaria rolled over to check her phone. 9:23 a.m. No text from Marcus. Weird. She shuffled into the kitchen, calling his name. Silence. The closet door hung open. His side was empty. She called his number. No answer. Again. Straight to voicemail. Zaria, voicemail, hey, where are you? You left with my laptop last night. Call me. Her anxiety turned to panic. She opened her browser, tried logging into their shared Google Drive. Access denied. GitHub repo, deleted. Her backup folder, vanished. She sat down, breath trembling. Then she opened Twitter. Trending in Atlanta Tech. #NeoMuse. She clicked. A crisp video autoplayed. Marcus standing on stage, a startup accelerator logo behind him. Marcus. Video. This idea came to me when I realized creators were being exploited. I built NeoMuse to empower them, with tools I designed from the ground up. Her hands went numb. He stole it. Everything. No mention of Zaria. No credit. No voice. Later that night, she posted screenshots of their texts, marked of early sketches, even her calendar history. The trolls came fast. Sounds like you're mad you couldn't finish it first. If it was really yours, you'd have launched it. Clout Chasing 101. Marcus's reply made it worse. Respect to everyone who supports the grind. Don't get distracted by noise. Hash built different. He called her noise. Zarya didn't leave her apartment for 4 days. The blinds stayed closed. Her inbox stayed full of rejection emails and pity messages. She had no job, no savings. Her laptop was gone. Marcus's name was being whispered in tech panels and on podcasts. The betrayal wasn't just personal, it was public. Her cousin Jasmine visited with soup and side-eye. Jasmine, you telling me he straight up ran off of your damn company? Zarya, he changed the name, but it's all mine. Even the tagline. Create. Connect. Monet eyes. That was me. Jasmine, girl, we need to slash his tires. Zarya, I need a damn lawyer. But lawyers wanted $400 per hour, and she had $17.42 in her bank account. So she started bartending at a dive bar down the street. Nights were long. Her feet ached, but her brain never stopped. Every time she poured drinks for frat guys raving about Neil Muse, she clenched her jaw. She didn't have power yet, but she had a memory, and talent, and fire. One late shift, a guy sat alone at the end of the bar. Black hoodie, AirPods, typing on 2 phones at once. Zarya served him an old-fashioned. Zarya, rough day? Man, worse. Someone tried to pitch me a watered-down app clone. Zarya, let me guess, Neil Muse. He stops typing. Man, how'd you know? Zarya, because I built it. She expected him to laugh. He didn't. Man, removing AirPod weight. What? Zarya, name Zarya Monroe. And that app, the framework, the UI, the model, that was mine. Man, you serious? Zarya, dead ass. I have sketches, texts, emails. He took everything. She expected disbelief. Instead, he leaned in. Man, I'm Julian Blackwell. I funded Seedtrack, Mixer, and Looper. Zarya, so you're a real VC. Julian, grinning, I'm also someone who loves a comeback story. He slid her a card. Julian, meet me tomorrow. Bring receipts. You want revenge? Let's rebuild. And in that moment, Zarya realized she didn't need to burn him down. She'd build something so powerful, he'd pay just to breathe the same air. Zarya sat cross-legged in Julian's high-rise office overlooking the Atlanta skyline, staring at the sleek MacBook he'd handed her. The cursor blinked like a heartbeat. A blank canvas. A day. Julian, forget what he took. Let's talk about what you're going to build next. Zarya, I can rebuild Muse in 2 weeks. I remember every feature, every wireframe. Julian interrupts. Muse is dead. It's burned. You don't rebuild a house someone torched. You build something smarter. Fireproof. Zarya flinched at the word dead. She looked up. Her fingers curled into fists. Zarya, so I build something better? Julian, grinning, no. You build something unbeatable. For the next 48 hours, they worked side by side, brainstorming names, redesigning systems. Zarya was relentless. Her vision was sharper now, no longer naive, no longer hoping to be liked. Zona, she whispered, like a protected zone, a home for creatives where no one can exploit them. Julian nodded, impressed. Julian, bold name, easy to remember, trademarkable. I like it. Zarya, it's not about building revenge. It's about building protection for people like me. That night, she sketched a new logo, Zona in clean, powerful typeface. The O subtly formed from protected vault. Her style was no longer cute and flowing. It was assertive, defiant, clear. By morning, Zarya had a new war room and a new mission. Zarya's one bedroom became a command center. Coffee cups piled next to user flowcharts. She coded through the night and napped in 10-minute intervals on a yoga mat. Her Spotify played low-fi beats on loop. But this time, She wasn't building alone. Julian connected her with two of the best freelance developers in the country, a UX writer, a brand strategist. Julian, on Zoom, Zarya's a lead. You follow her direction. She's not a founder in training. She's a blueprint. They listened. Each morning, Zarya walked the team through progress. Oh, frictionless onboarding. One-click contracts. Oh, in-app copyright protection for creatives. She tested every button, every hover state, every shade of blue. UX writer, on Slack, do you sleep? Zarya, I slept during betrayal. Now I build. The Zona beta launched silently at 2:17 a.m. on a Wednesday. By noon, creatives were tweeting screenshots. Where has this app been all my life? This Zona dashboard is smoother than Neo Muse ever was. Marcus noticed. Marcus, text, you're seriously trying to compete with me. Zarya, reply, no response. Blocked. By the end of week 2, Zona had 10,000 beta signups. By week 4, 75,000. A TikToker named the Design Diva posted a 60-second breakdown of Zona versus Neo Muse. Let's be real. One was built by a tech bro with no art background. The other? Zona, made by a real creative who gets us. This platform is personal. 3.4 million views. #Zona trending. Neo Muse stockholders panicking. Julian Pace as Zarya prepared for her first public pitch at a demo showcase in New York. She was dressed in all black, hair braided tight, no makeup, war ready. Julian, whatever happens out there, remember one thing. No one in this room has suffered more for their product than you. And no one can sell it like you. Zarya, quietly, I'm not pitching. I'm telling the truth. When she took the stage, people expected another startup sob story. What they got instead was fire. Zarya, pitch. I didn't come here with degrees or daddy's money. I came here because I was stolen from. Neo Muse wasn't built. It was copied. Zona is different. Because I am. A pause. The slide behind her lit up Zona's dashboard, side by side with Neo Muse. Zarya, they copied code. We coded community. Standing ovation. Investors rushed her after the event. Investor, what's your valuation? Zarya, higher than his ego. Marcus slammed his office door shut. Neo Muse dashboard glowing red. Churn rate up, users down. He paced like a cornered animal. Marcus, to his COO, this can't be happening. She was nothing without me. COO, actually, she's worth more than your current valuation. Marcus, fix it, or I'll fire everyone. He messaged Zarya again, first politely, then with fake humility. Marcus, text, maybe we could talk? Clear the air. Marcus, follow up, what if we merge the platforms? Zarya screen recorded the DMs and posted them with a caption. At Zari's own, when the thief asked to merge with a woman he robbed. Clown face try again. 6.7 M views. Thousands of comments. Zarya and Marcus trending on Twitter. Marcus retaliated publicly. Marcus, at Neo King, clout-chasing X's always pop up when you're eating. #Neo Muse still wins. But it backfired. People dug up screenshots, Reddit posts, even Wayback Machine links of Zarya's original mock-ups with timestamps. Techty Podcast, we checked the receipts. Marcus stole. Period. His inbox filled with refund demands. Sponsors dropped out. Zona's traffic passed Neo Muse for the first time. Zarya said nothing. Her silence was louder than his tantrums. It was midnight when Zarya stepped out onto her new rooftop apartment balcony, wine in one hand, phone in the other. Her team had just finalized a full release of Zona version 1.0. Julian called. Julian, you're officially past 250,000 active users. Zarya, that's crazy. Julian, you're on TechCrunch tomorrow, and Vogue Business wants a profile. Zarya, smiling from broken to booked. Later that week, she filmed a video. She sat in front of a white backdrop. No music, no edits. Just her, Zarya, on video. They said I was dramatic, that I should have stayed quiet, that I wasn't capable. But you know what? I turned the tears they caused into code, and now I license their nightmares. 20 million views, 2 brand deals, partnerships with Adobe and Notion. Neo Muse dropped 40% in valuation. Zoria didn't celebrate. She just stared at her phone and quietly deleted Marcus's contact. Not in rage, not in sadness, in peace. Zoria was brushing her edges in a Soho hotel bathroom when her phone buzzed with a meeting confirmation. Subject, boardroom presentation, series of funding. Location, Vanguard Capital. Time, 2 p.m. Julian texted seconds later. Julian, heads up. Neo Muse is pitching right before us. Zoria blinked at the screen. Her reflection stayed back, calm, until a smile curled at the corner of her lips. Zoria, perfect. Vanguard Capital's glass-wall boardroom looked like it belonged in a Marvel movie. High ceilings, minimalist decor, LED strips on marble floors. Tech founders milled about nervously, portfolios in hand. Zoria arrived just as Marcus was wrapping up his pitch. She walked in deliberately, heels clicking, every strand of her silk jumpsuit pressed to perfection. Marcus saw her. His voice stuttered. Marcus, clearing throat, Neo Muse, plans to expand internationally this quarter. We're, ready to scale. The investors looked mildly interested. Zoria sat in the corner, legs crossed, notebook closed, not taking a single note. As he stepped down, Marcus passed her and whispered, Marcus, you still following me around like a fan, huh? Zoria, calmly, you'll be licensing my interface by next quarter. He smirked, but his eyes flickered. Then it was her turn. Zoria stood in front of the panel, shoulders square. Zoria, Neo Muse borrowed buzzwords. Zona builds futures. Click. Here's our onboarding system, built by freelancers, for freelancers. Click. Our contracts are one click. Our copyright policy is creator first. Click. And here's our growth chart over Neo Muse decay line. Every slide was a bullet, every word a knockout punch. Investor One, you launched 4 months ago. Zoria, with no PR team, just receipts and revenge. Laughter, applause, silence, then clapping again. When she walked out, one of Marcus's own investors handed her his card. 3 weeks later, Zoria stood on the deck of a yacht floating off the Miami coast. No metaphor, a literal yacht. She wasn't partying. She was hosting Zona's first Creator Summit, inviting 25 of the platform's top freelance users to celebrate a $2.4 million round of fresh funding in the upcoming global launch. Influencers were live streaming. Photographers captured her every move. Influencer, on IG Live, she built Zona with no investor clout, no nepotism, just pure brilliance. We stand a tech queen. Photographer, Zoria, one with the wind in your hair. She turned slowly, laughing. Zoria, you're making me feel like Beyoncé. Julian handed her a champagne glass. Julian, remember that night at the bar? Zoria, which one? Julian, the one where you told me they can steal code, but not fire. Zoria, did I really say that? Julian, it was poetic. I almost trademarked it. They laughed, but Marcus wasn't laughing. He was watching from Instagram, stewing in his own feed. For the first time in years, Zoria felt calm. Her mornings were filled with quiet yoga, contract calls with brands, and coffee chats with designers from Sao Paulo to Seoul. Zona was now operating in 12 countries, with user stories flooding in daily. Voice message in Zoria's inbox. Thank you. I was being exploited by a shady middleman. Marcus didn't stop. He tried to spin the narrative again, this time on a podcast called Tech Truth with Todd. Marcus, on air, everyone loves a revenge story, but it's not like I stole anything. We collaborated. Zoria was emotional. The clip went viral for all the wrong reasons. Within 24 hours, Zoria had posted a video of dated screenshots, our early mock-ups with timestamps, a voice note from Marcus saying, "Let's launch Muse," the NDA with his forged edits, and her original logo drafts, watermarked. Zoria, on video collaboration, Baby, I was the engine. You were just along for the ride, until you yanked the keys. Twitter exploded. At Black Tech Witch, Zoria's patience is terrifying. I would have burned him at Chapter 2. At Founders United, never underestimate a black woman with a hard drive full of evidence. Julian reposted it with the caption, MIC dropped, case closed. An embossed envelope arrived in Zoria's P.O. box. Event, Global Creators and Founders Summit. Location, Lisbon, Portugal. Speaker, Zoria Monroe. Panel topic, The Cost of Innovation, When Genius Meets Theft. She blinked. The panel was being co-sponsored by a VC firm that had once rejected her and funded Marcus. The irony was delicious. She flew to Lisbon in first class. The panel was packed. And sitting in the crowd, Marcus. He looked tired. Older. Smaller somehow. Zoria took the stage and adjusted her MIC. Zoria. Sometimes a person who burns your blueprint ends up being the reason you draft a masterpiece. Beat. They called me emotional. I was. Then I built a company that made me powerful. Applause. Standing ovation. People cried. As she stepped down, a young woman grabbed her hand. Young creator, I almost quit tech after what happened to me. But your story gave me a blueprint. Zoria, smiling, no one can steal your story. Own it. Monetize it. License their nightmares. Marcus tried to make eye contact as she exited. She didn't even blink. That IT started with a notification. Neo Muse, trademark renewal denied. Status, expired. Zoria stared at the screen, barely blinking. Julian, calling, you seeing what I'm seeing? Zoria, he let it expire. Julian, his drowning. Couldn't pay the renewal fee. His investors cut him loose. Zoria pulled up a browser and, with 3 clicks, submitted a purchase application for the expired brand name. Neo Muse, now owned by Zona Inc. Julian called back 5 minutes later, laughing. Julian, this is poetic. You bought the brand of your own betrayal. Zoria, I didn't buy it to use it. I bought it to erase it. She drafted a press release that afternoon. Zona official statement. We have acquired the Neo Muse brand and its remaining digital assets. The name will be officially retired. Creative platforms should be led by creatives, not thieves. The next day, she uploaded a 30-second video. The blueprint always belongs to the architect. It started like a whisper. Zoria's legal team received a licensing request from a company overseas. One Marcus was trying to start after Neo Muse collapsed. They wanted to use Zona's contract feature, the one she had coded herself. Zoria, smirking, wait. Marcus wants to use my feature. Lawyer, through a third-party company. Yes, they're disguising it, but it traces back to him. She had 2 choices. 1, reject it outright. 2, license it under her terms. She chose the second. They revised the license agreement to include the clause. Licensee may not reference or market this tool as their original intellectual property. A visible Powered by Zona badge must appear in the footer. Marcus signed it. He had no choice. Now, every time someone opened his platform, it read, Powered by Zona. Julian, you could have buried him. Zoria, this is worse. Now he wakes up every day, branded by me. It trended for a week. #nightmare clause. #built by Zoria. It was a quiet Sunday morning. Zoria had shut off all screens and curled up on the couch with a sketch pad, drawing mock-ups for a new Zona feature. Then the test flashed positive. Her breath caught. She checked again. Positive. She called her OB the next day. Blood work confirmed it. Doctor, you're pregnant. Congratulations, and it's twins. Zoria, choking on air, I'm sorry, twins? Doctor, healthy and strong. You'll be fine. Her hand instinctively moved to her belly. That night, she sat on the balcony alone. Not crying, not panicking, smiling. This wasn't the end of her story. It was the expansion of it. She didn't post the news for weeks until a Zona campaign about creator legacies went viral. Her final slide in the video said, I created Zona. Now I'm creating life. Double the legacy. Double the fire. The internet exploded. She's pregnant. The twins about to come out pitching startups. Zaria Monroe doesn't miss. 9 months later, Zaria sat in a luxurious nursery designed by a black woman-owned interior studio. One baby slept soundly. The other made quiet dinosaur noises in her arms. Zona had just surpassed 1 million users worldwide. But today wasn't about Zona. Today was about her new venture, the Firestarter Fund, a $10 million angel investment fund for women of color founders, creatives, and coders. Julian, at the launch party, this is legacy now. Zaria, it's not revenge anymore. It's reinvestment. Her first investment, a 19-year-old black girl in Baltimore who coded her own animation platform. Teen founder, crying, "I didn't think anyone would believe in me." Zaria, they didn't believe in me either, but I built the door. Now I'm handing you the key. Vogue, TechCrunch, and Fars Company covered the launch. From betrayed to billionaire, Zaria Monroe's final power move. The headline read, Podcast Special, Zaria Monroe on Betrayal, Babies, and Building Billion-Dollar Brands. The studio was sleek. Cameras were on. Her twin daughters were being rocked in the green room by her mother. The host leaned in. Host, Zaria, you've lived a life most people couldn't survive. You were betrayed, erased, gaslit publicly, and rebuilt everything from dust. What would you say to Marcus King now, if he were listening? Zaria smiled, the kind of smile only forged through fire. Zaria, I'd say thank you, for stealing just enough to make me angry, for breaking me down so I could rebuild myself better, for underestimating me, so I had no choice but to go global. Pause. And I'd say, you thought you took my dream, but all you did was light the match. The host leaned back, speechless. Zaria adjusted her MIC. Zaria, he stole my dream. Now I license his nightmares. Daily. Fade out. Roll credits. Hash Zaria forever. Hash the final word. Hash legacy wins.